Good, how are you?
Hey, how are you? I'm good. So, I came across your story at the Marine Town Hall, and it was just such
Thank
an amazing
you.
journey that you've been on in your growth as a Black equestrian, and even in your journey as reconnecting with your dad. And I had a chance to take a look at the New York Times article after that because I fell in love with you, and I was like, I have to try to, I have to try to get her um, to join the Black Boots and the movement that we have going
Hmm.
on about honoring Black equestrians across, all spaces. So tell me about what you have going on as it relates to advocacy for helmets for Black and brown people
Well,
and just your journey as an equestrian.
I I
Right.
know. It's
I
okay. I
know.
mean,
I don't even warm up to
now
it.
I've been like honestly talking about this a lot. So it's nice though.
Yeah.
I've connected with a lot of amazing people and I'm like, this is crazy. I so wish that I connected with all of these people years ago and like people that like things that are popping up that I've never seen, like, and it sucks, like, yeah, I know I'm in Canada, but even in the States, like all of the nonprofits and the grassroots programs that are in the States is unbelievable. Like it's crazy, and we only have them in Canada for like therapeutic riding per se, right? Like we don't really have them for um mentorship and skill building or like for troubled youth really. So it's amazing, and I definitely hope to take like what I see that is accomplished in the States to Canada for sure. So while on this journey, as I'm biracial, of course I struggled with how to style my hair growing up with white people, my family too. Like I grew up with my white family, the white side of my family. Um, and like I reconnected with my dad when I was about, technically when I was around 16. And or maybe even a little bit younger,
Okay.
somewhere along there. But anyways, and we're tight now. We're very close, and my with my siblings as well over there, and the rest of my family. So it's great. And so what with this journey? So I grew up with my grandmother, right? Just like in the New York Times, obviously most of you probably know the story. So I grew up with my grandmother, and we were raised on a farm and in a very rich white town. My grandmother was not rich by any means. She was working like three
Mm.
jobs to support me and my younger sister, and we grew up on a farm, so we had cows and chickens, and then yeah, and then we she got us a pony by trading a cow to an Italian man, and so we got a pony. We walked her home down the
Great.
road.
So, so good.
And yeah, it was great. Honestly, those
I love
experiences were
it.
amazing. Like I miss my childhood. Right? Yeah, honestly, especially in today's day,
I think
right?
we all
So,
Yeah.
anyways, I struggled already with helmet fit and going to Green Hawk, like, and we have in Canada Green Hawk, as one of our chain retail stores. So, we would go to me and my sister would go to Green Hawk, and my grandmother would try to fit us with helmets. My grandmother had to learn how to style mine and my sister's hair as a white lady. And she was like, when she first had gotten custody of me and my younger sister, she was 40. So as of now, she's 69. So she had to learn how to style me and my sister's hair like braids and, you know, deep conditioning and oiling the scalp and all that stuff. So we would go to these stores to fit helmets, and obviously it was a bit of a struggle just even having like pigtail braids or baubles and stuff, right? So, but that, you know, you just kind of, you're like, I don't know, I'll just wear the helmet, I guess it's just a helmet, whatever, right? I have learned so much about helmets. It is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But that being said, it's crazy how I guess, ignorant to the manufacture process of helmets and how helmets actually work and how we should actually be wearing helmets, right? Anybody, it doesn't even matter, like the sport, right? And in Canada, it's basically illegal to be playing a sport that requires a helmet if you're not like under the age of 18. So if you're, so basically, like if you're under the age of 18 and
Really?
you shouldn't be caught riding without a helmet, technically. Or you have to sign some waiver or something that says like I'm basically
Okay.
signing my life away or whatnot, right? So anyways, yeah, so
Yeah.
I had my hair like long, it was mixed hair, so it was very poofy and afro. I would always straighten it, relaxing all the time, all the time. I would relax my hair, and it was so bad. And I ended up chopping my hair off to like shoulder length. And then I was like, I can't deal with this anymore. And I said to my
Yeah.
sister, like my dad's daughter, I was like, you need to help me right now. You need to help me. You need to help me
Yeah.
right now because this is just horrible and I should not be in public looking like this. So I started, I did box braids. I was doing, but even before box braids, I was doing like weaves and wigs. And still hard to, like, it's just a little thick, right? Stuffing it in the helmet.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I said, you just deal with it because you don't know any better, and that's how it is. So after all of the weaves and whatnot, I'm like, can't deal with this anymore. I just can't maintain it. I just don't have the time or the management to maintain it. And I did the box braids, and then I did the crochet locks, and absolutely love them. Want to lock my hair probably naturally soon. But this is it for now, and I absolutely love it. Like when I did this style, I was like, I think I want this for the rest of my life. And then I put the helmet on, or I tried to,
Yeah.
because I just didn't think that there would be a problem. And then I'm like, what am I thinking? This can't fit me.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and
It's
I don't
it's so
like
hard.
not riding with a helmet, and I don't like people seeing me do it. But I was like, I want to ride. I personally, I know wearing a helmet is obviously a choice
Yeah.
as well, right? And I am a person that believes like this is all you have, and once that's gone, you're gone. You're done. You're gone, right? So, and I witnessed actually a couple of years
Yeah.
ago, a really bad accident at a barn that I worked at, where a man fell off his horse, basically at the mounting block at a standstill. The horse's legs gave out. The horse like toppled over. He fell over, hit his head like off of I think a standard or a bar stool that was like in the part of the mounting area where people would watch, and he like knocked out.
Mm.
So I didn't know, like I didn't even witness this. I had these two younger girls in the arena watching, like they were already riding, so they were calling me, and this was like at literally 7 o'clock at night. And I ran to the arena, had a friend there, called 911. Paramedics came, and he was already on his like recovery side kind of position. And paramedics came. They took off his helmet, and, and I can tell you guys right now, the helmet did not look like anything had happened to it. Okay, he was on his side, looked absolutely intact. They took this helmet off, and there was a hole and a bunch of tiny, tiny little pieces all over the ground. I have never been so terrified
Mm.
or more mortified looking at that. I was like, I'm getting goosebumps. My voice is shaking now because I'm literally replaying the thing that I've seen. I had never seen anything like that before, and it terrified me. And unfortunately, he passed away 2 weeks later. And
How do you, how do you process something like that, especially when you
mhm,
are a mixed race woman, right? You're dealing with
yeah,
hair
yeah.
and who your identity, right? But you still want to protect yourself. And
Day by day,
how do you do that?
if I'm being honest, it is very difficult, and I wish I knew more colored equestrians, and like black equestrians and brown equestrians, Asian equestrians. I do have an Asian equestrian friend. She lives pretty far from me now. I do have another black equestrian friend. I have actually a couple of them. They live generally close to the greater Toronto area near where I am. But one of them I knew because I went to a boarding barn and she just happened to be there. The other ones I just kind of found through social media in our Facebook groups, on like in our Ontario and Canadian like horse groups. So my friend Joanna has natural locks, and she struggles with it as well. And it's hard because I just feel like some people you walk into a store and people kind of just look at you and they're like, do, do they ride? Like sometimes, don't get me wrong, some people are like, whatever, like not phased, and some people are like stunned, right? And it just takes them a second, and they're like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
whatever, right?
yeah.
I automatically get anxious because I feel like
Mhm.
somebody is going to think that I absolutely have not a clue about horses. Like if I went in the store and I wasn't dressed, like I used to dress in breeches and stuff to go to tack stores on purpose so that nobody would ask me questions. But and now I'm like, I just don't care, right?
Yeah,
I just don't
yeah,
care. But and I thought, like, I'm like, why did I feel that way? But obviously I felt that way for a reason. And some people would be like, there's diversity and whatnot, and they don't get it, right? They don't feel the same. Obviously they're not in our shoes. They don't understand what it's like to maybe feel a little bit misplaced, or like, like feel like, yeah, I shouldn't really be here, but I should be here. Right? So I think that's one of the big things for me is like I try not to get anxious and assume what people think, but it's hard not to. And I try to tell my white friends that.
absolutely.
I try to just say, listen, I just try to go in headstrong and just say, listen, I don't want people to judge me. I have this argument with my boyfriend sometimes, who is white. He's Hungarian and German, sweetest guy ever, big guy, absolutely adore him. And he sometimes even he's like, why do you think that way? And I'm like, how many times, Andrew, do I have to say this? It's just a feeling. It's just a feeling. I can't explain why.
Being
I just all of a sudden think I'm going to be judged. Like what? It doesn't matter. I just my guard goes up, right? And I can't even imagine what others might feel.
yeah,
And sometimes I literally just feel like I'm being overreactive, right? But then I'm like, there's always a reason to having a feeling.
absolutely, absolutely. So from that experience of seeing this man fall off and him losing his life, that I'm sure was one of the catalysts, besides, you not being able to find the right fit for your helmet. Like, how did you, and in all those things, and being
Mm-hmm.
self-aware and knowing that people might judge you for standing out and speaking up, how do you still do
I
it
just
anyway?
think
Or
that
why is it
people
so
deserve
important to
to
do
be
it?
safe, and people deserve to know that they should be safe. Like I have a friend, Charlotte,
Mhm.
who's going to be helping me a little bit on my journey, who actually we were just talking tonight, and she's the same. Like she had a horrible fall, and she was telling me how she kept her helmet that like literally saved her life, and how she's like, I literally called somebody out the other day for not wearing one. And I'm like, man, I feel that. And I still like beat myself up for even riding my horse without one. But then sometimes I'm like, at least he was, I've owned him forever. Like he just turned 18 yesterday. I do trust him. And I mean, if I am going to die, it's going to be falling off of him. But he's super, like, he's super safe.
Yeah.
And I would go on little trail rides and here and there, and like he's retired, he has an navicular, he just goes on leisure little walks. So really, like, pictures that I hate having pictures of myself on my horse without my helmet, but then I'm like, I want to have a picture of myself on my horse. And I know that some people are like, oh well, whatever, she's on a horse without a
Yeah.
helmet. But then some people are like, no, she is on her horse without a helmet. I've had people comment on my Facebook post like, why are you not wearing a helmet? And I'm like, don't fit, don't fit, don't fit me, right? And they're like, oh,
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah.
my bad. And I'm like, thanks for embarrassing me on my post. But like it sucks. And I hate, like, I'm trying now because there's so many pictures that I wish I could post on my helmet profile and be like, hey, like, this is me. But I'm like, I don't want to do it because this is a page to wear helmets. So you guys will never see me, just like, on my account, you will never see me on the back of a horse without a helmet. You won't. You will not. So you will see me beside my horse. Somebody else
Yeah.
may be on them, but not me without a helmet on this page. Absolutely not. I do not need little kids. I do not need anybody saying she has no helmet, but she's advocating them. No. The only reason that I'm not wearing one, right, like, is because I don't have one that fits. I am stuffing my head in one right now, so it obviously it's a little
Hmm.
painful and pressure points, but I can get away with it right now. So I found one that is two of them that are
Yeah.
somewhat helping me, and I just fluctuate between the days to see which one I might just
Hmm.
kind of take to a little bit better. But for now, that's basically what I'm doing. So yeah.
What goes to the brands that say that we don't necessarily have a place, or um,
Mm-hmm.
because Black riders aren't necessarily the majority, we don't deserve
So
the
I'm really
to
tired of
to
people
have
saying that
the protection.
there should be a majority for something. I don't like that at all. But that being said, with one of the companies that is working, like, helping me out with and figuring it out and teaching me about helmets and all that stuff, and helping me navigate helmets, um, she explained to me like the manufacture process, right? And she was like, it's a lot of money. I totally understand it's a lot of money, right? But then it's like, I wonder if there's something that other bigger committees, companies, Olympics, something, invest, help invest, right? If there's an idea, help and
Mm.
invest, right? Like, I just don't understand. Like, who cares if there's a minority? Like, why should they not have those things, right? So, uh,
Right.
I just, like, I can appreciate that maybe they're people just didn't speak up about this problem, right? And I'm not pointing, like, the whole point of this is not to point at companies and say you're racist. This is not anything to do with racism. This is just to do with, hey, we need help. Can somebody please just help us figure this out? We just need help. That's all,
Right.
right? Like,
Yeah.
honest to God, that's literally it. And it's just like, please, 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 please. Like, some of us really just want to be safe, right? Some of us just want to be safe. And to be honest, like,
Yeah.
this whole thing got more like I when I went back on my Facebook and I went back on posts where I was complaining about helmets, holy, there was so many complaints I had on my personal, like, posts, like, posting on my profile saying, like, can anybody help me with this? Does anybody have ideas with this? Also, I 100% think there needs to be silk caps, right? Right? Because when I had my
Okay.
weave and I was coming off, I'm like,
Yes.
listen, this is expensive hair.
Absolutely.
I am not about to ruin this. Right? And even still, it would be better for every, like,
Hmm.
honestly,
Yeah.
anybody. Like, nobody would have, like, the really, the helmet head. Yes, you might get sweaty. Some people sweat. But I mean, it would just be a personal preference if you would buy it, right? I don't know. But yeah. Yeah.
I'm, I champion all of that.
Like, I don't know, help us.
Yes.
That's all. That's
Yes.
all. Like, honestly, and like I said, so
Yes.
where I
Please.
was getting at is, before I was mentioning going back in my post, like, this became more of a bigger thing once. So I retired my older gelding like 2 years ago now. Once he was diagnosed with navicular, and and yeah, I know, I'm reading the comment. And facts. And so I
Yeah.
bought a yearling, like, so a year ago, and then I was like, I need to ride him, but I'm not getting on. I'm not no crazy cowboy that will just get on and be like, yep, I got this, whatever. And I'm like, no, 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 not me. So, but I use natural, or positive. I use positive reinforcement anyway. So I basically broke my 2-year-old. He should be turning 3 June or July now. I've had a couple of rides on him with a helmet, and somebody else has gotten on him a couple times for me too. So, and he's been a saint. This horse has just been a saint. Thank God, because I literally said to him, listen, boy, I don't have a helmet that fits me properly. So we're just gonna get along. So far
Better
so
do.
good. But that's when I was
Yeah.
really thinking I need a dang helmet for sure, for sure. So I'm not that brave without
Yeah.
one, and I just don't personally want to risk it. And I don't. I mean, everybody else can risk it for the biscuit, but I won't do that. So yeah.
Well, keep doing the work that you're doing. And I am in awe of your
Thank you.
fearlessness and being able to speak out and sharing your journey, because there are little girls and little
Hmm.
boys that come from the
I've
same
had
walk,
so many
and
people
especially
tell
with the
me that
duality,
their
So it's
daughters
important.
have been like, ah, like, it's crazy.
Yes, yes. Keep championing it, and
Soon,
we
yes,
hope to
soon.
figure out how we can get you
I'm
down
working on
here.
a
We hope
little
to
business
get up
thing
there
right now,
on,
so
but
I'm getting that kind of sorted.
yeah,
Soon it'll be sorted, and then heck yes. Thank
yeah.
you.
Well, thank you. And hope to talk more with you and keep the conversation going. Everybody, don't forget the call for nominations for the Black Boots Awards 2024 open on June 5th, and they close on July 31st. Be sure to nominate Chanel Robbins
Thank you so
for one
much.
of our
I
categories. She's
will. I will
amazing,
keep on
and
keeping.
thank you. And keep doing the good work.
Bye.